So the fake baby situation has got even more crazier, with the victims of Kira Cousins who faked the pregnancy, illness and passing of her fake baby Bonnie Lee have come out in droves exposing the true depths of her deceit. Kira has also come out and made apologies in public around this, and it's all just a massive social media mess. It keeps getting worse. So hello everyone, welcome back. I am Jake Baz, and I'm back again to cover one of the weirdest and craziest scandals that I've seen on social media in a while. As today we've had so much more come out around this situation, which paints even more of a tarnished brush on the wall, showing Kira Cousins to be even more deceptive and grim at all points throughout this. As I said, there's so much more here, so if you enjoyed the video at any point, please do hit the like button and subscribe if you're not. It helps me out a lot, and I would love to have you back for more torrid social media episodes. So who is Kira Cousins? Well, I covered it in my last vid. I really think you should watch, but we will go through and discuss all the things here. So for those that haven't heard, here's a quick lowdown of this insane situation. Kira Cousins is a Facebook mum who resides in Scotland in the United Kingdom, and her actions have led to condemnation not only from national but also global news media outlets, as well as everyone on social media. And the action in question is being the faking of a pregnancy, a faking of a terrible illness that the child would face, and then also faking the passing of a pretend child, a literal doll called Bonnie Lee. From this, we've had so many lives that have been hurt from it. We've had thousands of dollars which have been scammed by her from her family members, as well as basically a massive social media fallout. I mean, she was that invested that she even went to the point of a gender reveal with the father, which he didn't know that the baby was fake, just so she could get a bit of sympathy, gaining money from family members in the form of garments and things like that to help the child as it comes through, as well as a $1,000 pram, brand spanking new pram, so that she could be whipped round in it. I only wish in my life that I could even get close to that. Then before the birth, the pregnancy ended up turning out a bit sour, with her claiming that the child suffered with a rare congenital heart issue that was unable to be remedied easily, even promoting charity posts on her social media to prove that she is committed to this cause of looking after this sick, sorry child that hadn't been born. And then when the fake baby, the child, actually did get born, it really turned sour, showing off the fake doll on social media purely so she could get attention for what she has done in having a brand new child, but even going to the point of creating AI videos which generate the baby actually kicking its limbs to prove that it's alive and well. And then when she was finally cornered and told that, well, we're starting to get a little bit worried here, she faked the passing of the child to the surprise of the actual dad, and then tried to run away and get away from any form of accountability that she can from this situation, leading so many people to suggest that she suffers from a condition called Munchausen, where she would pretend that she's got these certain ailments which is purely for attention. We'll cover that later, and as I said, we don't have to really explain or extrapolate here. It is just crazy, it's mental, and it's insane, and so many people have been saying that this should be an actual Netflix drama because it's really looking like it, isn't it? Continuing to get much weirder as time goes on as well, and I think the best way to start here would be from the horse's mouth, so to speak, as Neve McRoberts was an insanely close friend to Kira, and one who definitely took a large amount of mental torture from all of this experience. And following the drama in the last video which I covered, she did a Facebook post which highlighted all of the problems from this situation, but she also posted on TikTok highlighting the troubles further, and I think we should go through this because it gives even more insight into this horrid situation.
8-9 months ago, she texted me telling me that she was pregnant, and I was so happy for her. And she told me that Jamie didn't want to tell his mum, so she begged and begged Jamie to tell his mum that they were having this baby, and he begged her and begged her to get an abortion.
That's actually crazy when you think about it, that she was begging and begging the actual father of this fake child doll to go and talk about the situation to the mum, so the mum knows that a kid is coming. And the father didn't even really want the child, and then it turns out that he's not got a child anyway, but obviously he's come to the front of it and had 9 months of this pretending and thinking that he actually has one.
A few weeks later, a few days later, she ended up texting Jamie's mum on her own, saying that they were having a baby and she was pregnant. And his mum wasn't happy, because they'd only been getting to know each other for a month, but they were in the Orange Walk together.
That's just insane to me as well, that they've only been together a month and then they've got this child that's potentially coming and she's shoving it down the throat of the mother. Does this really stink of baby trapping to you? Like, it looks like that she's trying to put pressure on the father so that he has to go through with this pregnancy, this fake pregnancy, because his mum knows about it now. As she just goes and leaks it to the father's mum so that he can get attention for it. It's just, what?
She announces it on Facebook and everybody is so happy for her. Everybody believes Kira. And then 3-4 months go by and she has a gender reveal and everybody is at the gender reveal, both sides of the family at the gender reveal. Then she makes it a wee girl because Jamie's mum only has 3 grandsons and her mum doesn't have any granddaughters or any grandsons. Her own mum believed that she was going to be a grand for the first time. She was so happy.
It's just the calculatedness of it all from her in the way that she acts. Like with the congenital heart issue that she talked about and said that the baby, the fake baby, ended up having, it was actually because a co-worker had previously said that their son's got it, and I guess it's a way to get mutual sympathy for a situation that's going on. And she's done it there again because the mum of the father has never had a granddaughter or a daughter, and that is another way to get mutual sympathy because, yeah, you're finally getting what you actually wanted, having something different in your life. Once again, entirely tactical and intentional in the way that she was doing it.
Anyway, the 10th of October comes and I have 2 missed calls for her at 1:30 and I feel shit because I didn't answer it. The next morning, or that same morning, I wake up at 7:30 and I've got a text message for Kira saying, "Hi, it's Bonnie Lee. I was born at 2:46 a.m. I weigh 5 pound 4 ounce, the exact same weight as my daddy when he was born."
Oh, what a coincidence that you're the exact same weight as the father when he was born as well. It's not like you've been telling and talking to the mum about that to try and make it feel better. It's so many perfect coincidences that all come together. It's just so calculated, and it does baffle me how calculated she got to in this extent. It's not like she's an idiot with it, but apart from a couple of things. But I believe that anyone who is going through this similar thing would believe in the exact same way that the baby is going to be real. Like, there is no other way up until the actual point where it all falls down for you to think otherwise.
Her video, and I'm like, oh my god, like, congratulations, she's so cute. But I felt so bad because she done it on her own. She sent me a video of her walking out of the hospital with Bonnie Lee, this doll in the car seat, and she has like everything that the hospital would give you. But my mum seen on Facebook yesterday that it's like a baby box thing, and it's all the exact same bottles and dummies that Kira had for Bonnie Lee.
So she bought this fake doll, like a baby box, which includes all of the stuff that you would see in a normal hospital. How crazy is that? I just want to know the financial implications of what she's doing, because yeah, she scammed family out with thousands, but she did that for the actual child. Like, she wasn't monetarily benefiting really from any of this. There was nothing to gain apart from the sympathy of others, and well, there's a prime example there of her making her feel bad that, oh well, Neve, you missed the actual point at when it happened, so you should feel bad for not being there for me in this serious time. The amount of people that she did this to is baffling, and it's just crazy. The situation just keeps getting worse.
She posts on Facebook thanking her gran and great gran for buying Bonnie Lee her first chair. And she even wrote on it, like, I'm even opening my eyes to be nosy in it. But all through the pregnancy, she was saying that Jamie and his family are the worst people ever. They didn't help her through it, and painting them out to be really evil people. And she ends up on the second day, she takes the baby up to Jamie's house, and the mum says, it's a doll, it's no moving, it's freezing cold. So Kira grabs the doll in the car seat, makes Jamie take her to Wisher General.
This is another way and tactic in how she was doing this. She was trying to plant the seeds of, well, everyone else is horrible about this. I need your attention. I need your help, Neve. You're the only one who can help me. Painting out others to be bad so that then she can get sympathy for it. It is like prime Munchausen, really, that we'll cover later. It's just crazy how the entire thing just comes crumbling down, like within the first visit to the parents of the father. It's like, nah, it's a doll. It's very cold. child, and she snatches it away and runs away so that she can make sure that it hides away for another day or two. And that's obviously where she brought in this plan of, oh, it's going to have a passing away. But seriously, it's a real shame that certain dolls can get congenital heart issues.
Says to Jamie, you're not allowed in because you're not allowed in any of the appointments. Jamie believed it because for the first appointment that he took her to, she had told him that you're not allowed in. She comes out and she says to Jamie that the baby is fine with just to keep it wrapped up, and the baby has mucus. And she only says the baby has mucus because Jamie wanted a DNA test, and you can't take a DNA test if the baby's got mucus.
How convenient. How absolutely convenient to the cause. Because, yeah, they'd only been together a month when she was actually pregnant, and then the father obviously wants to know if that's his kid. So, yeah, can't take the DNA test because I know coincidentally that you know that personal tiny bit of information. I really just want to know what's going on in her head at this point. Like, how does she think that she was going to bottle this down and down the road and nothing come out from it and everything be fine? Like, it was clearly only going one way into exposing the true depths of her depravity. Like, there's no other way around it.
It's crazy because I believed it that much because she was sending me scanned pictures, she was sending me videos at the hospital. Like, she just made everything seem so real.
I've seen so many people say, how did they not know initially and straight away that this is a problem? Well, if one of your friends did this, you wouldn't think it's a problem anyway because you live on that benefit of doubt. She might not have personally properly seen the baby, but she's had a quick glance, and then also there's all these photos, there's the AI videos proving that there's a kicking baby there, and everyone else is involved. Everyone else knows that, well, she's given birth. And this is what the people kind of do in this state. They will try and continually keep it going and going until you can't push any further.
She texts me saying, Niamh, I need to get out of this house. So I text her and I say, do you want me to come and pick you up since you've just had a baby? I'll drive. And she was like, aye. And she says, I'll bring the pram so we can go a walk, because she didn't ever want to sit in the house because people would ask her, like, kind of have a hold of her, like go up to her and touch her maybe, and she didn't want that because she didn't want anybody to realise that it was a doll so quick.
And what Niamh has said multiple times as well is that a lot of the family just thought that she was an overprotective mother, which is something that obviously it can be very normal in a pregnancy, that everyone would feel like that. You want to look after your child that you've just had, and it's like, well, yeah, it is in one hand a doll, but how do you know otherwise if you don't get a chance to actually see it?
Anyway, I go and get her and I text her when I'm outside and I say, Kira, I'm outside, do you want a hand? And she goes, no, it's okay. So anyway, I go to her door and she doesn't expect me to be there, so the car seat is like facing out, and then I'm like, oh my god, she's tiny, she's so cute because she's wrapped up, she's got a big hat on and she's got a dummy on, and I'm like, oh my god, she's so cute. And Kira's like, I know, I have to keep her wrapped up because we had her at the hospital yesterday. And I was just thinking, like, I said to her, Kira, we're not taking the way on a walk because you've already took the baby to the hospital and you've been told, like, it's too cold to take it a walk.
I think this is definitely intentional from Kira Cousins because it looks like that she's got this baby all wrapped up, all in the car, ready to go. And yet, so tiny, so many problems going on with a poor kid at the moment. It's really cold. We can't take her for a walk. Look at how much trouble she's going through. Look at how much trouble you're going through with the stress of having to deal with this situation. So it's definitely 100% intentional with her doing this, because if they ended up going out for a walk and then the baby passes, it's going to be like the person will feel bad because they kind of caused this. It's a mutually assured destruction thing, and it's also something that is purely just to bait on someone's emotions.
She asked me, can you take me to Morrison's? And I say, aye, of course I can. That's where she works. So she wanted to show everybody in her work this doll. So we get there. She says, Niamh, can you push the pram till I get a couple of things? She was getting Red Bull and stuff. And then she takes the pram and she takes it up to the office bit, and everybody's coming out and looking in the pram saying, oh my god, she's so cute, she's tiny, congratulations, putting money in.
Insane, isn't it, that she even took it round to the place that she works? I can't get it. I don't understand how she had so much confidence in that moment from having this literal doll to bring it round absolutely everyone that she knows for attention. And not only that, like I said, they even got money from it. Like, this ended up being a positive endeavour from her. She's hidden away for ages, and then she ends up going on these endeavors because it builds confidence in this story being true as well. Because, well, it's been taken over to a load of people at her work, so if they didn't think that, well, this is actually a fake baby doll, well, the family members won't as well, even if there are a few cogs turning their head saying that there's something wrong here.
We come to my mum's and my mum opens the door and she's like, oh my god, it's so nice to see you, because Kira had been telling her all through her pregnancy that she couldn't wait to see her. And she sits down and we lift, like, my mum goes to lift her cover up and Kira slaps my mum's phone away. My mum just sits back down and we're just talking to Kira and that, and Kira stands up and like shows us these big nappy things that she's wearing. She's like, because of all the blood and all that. And so we're believing her.
Obviously, with the way that she's done it and the way that she's presented herself, everyone is going to believe that. In retrospect, it looks so weird for her to like quickly smash the cover back over and hide away any of the evidence, especially to the mother. I mean, the entire point you've been there is so that you could show the kid to the mum. But with everything else going on and the amount of evidence, supposed evidence that has been pushed forward for this child being real, you're not going to think otherwise.
We're just like talking to Kira and asking her about everything, and she always had an answer for absolutely everything. She was still making Jamie and his family out to be these horrible people. Jamie is phoned her asking for a DNA test and she's like, no, I know that, like, no, the veins got mucus, we can't do it. So Kira was like getting ready to go and my mum says, oh, you're not leaving without giving us a wee cuddle? And she's like, no, nobody's touching the vein, nobody's getting to hold the vein. I've already took her to the hospital yesterday. She's no well.
Wayne is baby, by the way, in Scottish. I thought I might need to translate that to some Americans. But remember, the kid's ill. The kid's got so many ailments. The kid's cold and it's got mucus. So it's not really having a good fight on the world right now. It needs as much protection as possible. So you're just going to believe it and move on.
Mum's like, alright. And I was like, right, Kira, come on, I'll just take you home, because it was a bit weird, like, just was. And then the next day comes and I go on Snapchat to realise that all the pictures of Bonnie Lee and videos of Bonnie Lee have been deleted for our chats. So I text her, I'm like, Kira, what the why have you deleted all the pictures of Bonnie Lee? She opens it and ignores it. And then I add Jamie on Snapchat and he sends laughing faces and I'm like, what the And my mum had said, Neve, it might be a doll because she wouldn't let any of us touch it. And then it all came out.
I really don't want to know what that utter realisation must have actually felt like for Neve and for all of the family members as well, that they have been conned into this for over 9 months at this point. Especially for the father, just putting laughing emojis, because that's the only way you can really like break it down in your head, can't you? It's such a tough situation to navigate, and I don't know how I could even live with something like this.
I don't know if it was her mum or cousin that walked in on her and basically the doll was just left and she was on her phone. Everybody found out that it was a doll. I just don't know how to feel right now. Like, I feel so dumb because I was in Morrison's where I had the doll in my car, I had the doll in my house. It's crazy. I just can't believe how much one person can affect somebody. And she has affected me like nobody else has ever affected me this bad. I feel like if somebody has to tell me I'm pregnant, I'm going to just punch it and be like, no, you're not.
Like I said, I feel so sorry for Neve, and I hope that everything ends up turning out a bit better for her in the future, because all of this situation is mental. Exactly why she wanted it and why she went through with it is really ambiguous, to be honest, in the current situation, because you can't really nail it down other than something like a mental problem. Quite a few people in the comments said that I was a bit too cutthroat with this situation, but I think a lot of people need to understand like the depths of what she's gone to and how many people she's harmed. Like, I do agree with the way that she's done it. It's definitely something that is a very mental health problem and crisis sort of issue, but I also can't excuse the way that she has tarnished so many people's lives. She has caused so much damage mentally to so many people that are in her family, and also even wider, and also to the depths that she went to try and disguise this and make it all blow over for her. For Kira Cousins, I do hope that she has the best for her, and I hope that she ends up becoming a better person and learns from this. But this is something that is not only a Netflix documentary, it's a massive crime that needs to be handled and addressed accordingly. And also something that I noticed in quite a few people is saying that everyone was so naive or stupid to even believe that this was a doll for 1 second. Like, if you just ignore the tens of photos that we have of Kira Kira Cousins here, like for example, with the baby bump, it looks very real. It looks very, very real, actually, to the point where it is almost indescribably the same. You then add the stuff of the baby bump photos, as well as the kicking, things like that. All of these little bits that no one is going to analyze respectively very hard. The only time that someone would do that is after, when something like this has come out. So I don't think people should have been naive to see it. Like, although the baby doesn't look exactly like a baby, I do think in some photos especially, it looks like a doll, but that is after the fact of knowing this. It's not whilst I've been living with this person or being around this person and they have been telling me their progress, everything like that, and have all the answers to the questions that you're asking around the child. Because you can see that she's very intelligent and calculated and knows everything about what she is going on about. Such as in this clip here with Megan Burr commenting on Neve's post, showing just how silly it really is around how much she knows. And if she's so knowledgeable and understanding of the certain ailments and problems, why would you think otherwise?
I was getting induced anyway on the 20th, right, because the Wayne has a hole in her heart, right, and don't listen to them about like the centiles and stuff, because I had a scan last week and they're like, she's £4, like something, she's £5.4, right, that was only last week. Like, don't listen to him about that. But I was going to think she had a hole in her heart, and she still does, but she's fine, luckily. Like, they just need to monitor her and see like what comes of it. I was like, I'm going into labour right now, and like, see, when I say your body starts clearing out, like you're spewing, you're fibrillating, like. And then that was me on the Wednesday. They were like, you're in early labour. My waters broke at 2 this morning and I had her by 46 minutes past 2.
By the way, I'm sorry, even I'm struggling at this point to actually understand what she's saying with the Scottish, but you can get the sentiment of it there. She's explaining about the actual trauma that she had during this fake pregnancy that didn't happen. But to someone none the wiser who hasn't gone through pregnancy or who hasn't suffered with any problems with a child, they're not going to think otherwise by hearing this sort of like intricate detail around the way that the child is being born and the issues with it.
I was in early labour, right? So like, I was 2 centimetres, right, last week when they checked, and they were like, it's fine, like, you're getting induced anyway, don't worry about it. And then Wednesday I went, and I went from 2 to 4. Then I went from 4 to 5. And then last night, I literally went like straight to 10. But it was like a few days in early labour. And then like my actual one for my water breaking to her being here was 46 minutes. And it's like a conveyor belt in there. It's as soon as they can get you out. Like, I had her at 2:46, and at 7, I was like texting her dad being like, right, you can come back and get us.
At least the baby came out quite quick for her. Yeah, she's talking about getting a certain amount of dilation going there. Out of context, to be fair, that's quite mad. But it just shows how much she's thinking about it. She's telling absolutely everyone around her and in her family about this situation and about how it's actually gone through. So she's been putting so much time and effort into actually understanding how it works, even though she hasn't had a kid. And the way that people have tried to explain and talk about this a lot is to do with the way that she's acting, which I would describe, and a lot of people do describe, as some form of Munchausen. And for those who don't know what Munchausen is, it is a mental health condition where a person feigns or induces illness to gain attention and sympathy, and this is a prime example with what she's doing with her child. If you could hear from Neve about how all of the situation was going with her, and that the family members of the father are absolutely terrible, they're horrible, and then also just with this previous one where she's explaining how hard the actual pregnancy was and all of the problems that she had, she was everywhere, complementing it with the specific illness that the child has, a congenital heart issue, and it all starts to come towards the idea that, well, she's just faking it for attention, right? She's playing other people off so that she can get sympathy from every single person in the situation. What I would say that she does have is a form of Munchausen by proxy, where she is having this child take on the sick role of the problems of what she's saying. Like I said, even this congenital heart issue, it was said and mentioned of the child having that because of a co-worker who also has a son that has that problem. So it is that sick role so that she can get empathy and sympathy for it. And this is definitely something that I believe she could have, and she really needs to go and get help to see if she does have that. But whether or not she has or not, I can imagine so, with the entire family realizing all of this trauma has come from nothing. But if she does have Munchausen, it does explain a lot of the issues issues around this and the way that she was acting around other people and playing others off of each other so that she could get the sympathy from everyone. People who have Munchausen are also quite deceitful and smart with the way that they act, and that led Neve to make yet another response around the situation, because a lot of people were saying, like, how do you not understand it's a doll? Which I'm sure in all of their lives, if they had anything similar happen, they would just go straight through with it.
And for anybody that's going to ask, how did you not know it was a doll? I could tell. Like, no. Like, shut the up, because you weren't there, you weren't involved. Like, you don't know how she was acting. Like, we just thought she was being an overprotective mum. And for the people that are going to say, like, I think she needs help, no, she doesn't. She needs jail. She needs, like, something bad to happen to her. Like, the way she has made Jamie and his family feel, the way she has made her own family feel. I've got text messages for her auntie that lives in Wales saying, I sent £500 up because I couldn't make the gender reveal.
Now, I think it's definitely right that she does get some form of jail time for what she's done, because she has just faked everyone out. And also, as they just said, there has been over £500 just in one instance sent over to her because they couldn't make the gender reveal, which is terrible. But also, I definitely am on the side of, well, they do need help as well. That's the entire point of what prison should be for rehabilitation. She should be going and getting help from an actual medical practitioner that could diagnose her and look after her for her symptoms and problems. But it's definitely right that you were never there, so you would never know. Like, you don't understand the depths of what she's gone to so that she can manipulate everyone in this situation. So you really don't have a clue. So it's easy on the internet now to be like, yeah, it's a doll, whatever, but like, you don't get it.
She doesn't need any sort of help. I wonder where she is right now, and I wonder where that doll is. I just can't believe it. And I already feel like such a fool, like, for no realising. But a real life doll, like, she must have paid like close to £1,000 for it. So, like, no, you couldn't really tell.
I'll let you know these dolls are quite cheap at Alibaba. It is soul destroying problems, and it's also something that someone who is very, very sick would do. It's not something that someone would do in a normal state of mind.
You couldn't tell at all. If I'd realised when she was in my house, then I don't know what would have happened. She doesn't need any sort of help. She needs the jail. She really does. I feel just deflated. I feel like I'll not be able to trust anybody for a long time. If they tell me, like, they are pregnant, I'll be wondering, like, is it a doll? Is it real? Like, she is up. She's an actual demon. I hope I never see her again.
I think that's definitely the best way to look at it, that she is just a demon. Like, there is no other way to explain it. She carried this on for so long and brought so many people into disrepair with the actions of herself, and I do think she definitely needs to go to a doctor and get looked at, and also go to prison. I also think as well, with reaching this video, it is something that she's done loads in the past. We've got one to cover afterwards, but I feel that she's always been someone who has preyed on and wanted attention from anyone. Any way to make her feel better and give her the sympathy that she feels like she needs for something that she doesn't. And a prime example is here, where she posted a beautiful Facebook quote which has been put on Twitter from her original Twitter, saying, "Your illness does not define you, your strength and courage does." Yeah, I'm pretty certain that that's the case. So when the fake baby passed, it just didn't have enough courage. But this is just under a year ago at this point, and yes, she's saying, well, my illnesses don't define me. It's the strength and courage that I have from the situation, and it's meant to be a motivational thing that unfortunately is not very motivational, because she never had any illnesses, and the illnesses in question she has then put onto a fake doll which she has then got loads of attention from. The levels of deceit and hilarity from all of this just keeps getting worse. Another thing that has come out recently, which I do believe is real, is from her Instagram before she ended up privating it and getting away from everyone, where she did end up admitting the problems of what she's done in some way, and the response in this so-called apology is very weird. Initially saying at the top right, I wasn't pregnant, there was no baby, I made it up and kept going way too far, I faked scans, messages, a whole birth story, and acted like a doll was a real baby. I know how bad it is, I know up. I just didn't know how to stop once I started. Yeah, I'm sure you didn't know how to stop once you started. Maybe when you got quite a few £100s from people, that made you change your thought process a little bit. But like, what a great apology part there, saying that I just didn't know how to stop. It was just an addiction to me in a form, which isn't really right at all, is it? It's a very simple way of putting that you messed up. To Neve, I'm so sorry. You were there for me through it all. You cried happy tears, picked me up, brought me places, believed everything I said. You didn't deserve to be lied to like that. None of you did. Well, why did you do it then? That's really this simple premise. Why did you do it if you knew that? I admitted that a friend was there for her, but then actually just there for her in a fake pretense. Like, it almost sounds a little bit proud of what she's done. Your mum, your niece, everyone who came for the gender reveal, all of the people who gave me gifts or support, I up and I hurt a lot of people. You don't say. That's maybe just a minor F up in the entire situation, right? The way that she's explaining it is just like it's a scratch on someone's hand. It's just a slight slap. It's nothing. Boiling it down to that when in fact it's months of deceit and actual mental torture at this point. Then saying, and to everyone I made look bad along the way, Jamie and his family especially, I'm sorry. I made you out to be horrible people when really I was the one in the wrong completely. This is what happens when your dirty laundry gets given out into public spaces. It makes you look like a mug. I don't have a proper excuse yet. I wasn't in a good headspace, but that doesn't make what I did okay. I know this is going to stick with me for a long time and that I'll probably lost friends I'll never get back. To just boil it down to, I wasn't in a good headspace, so I did all of this for 9 months, including getting thousands of pounds off of people, scamming them, and then also doing a fake gender reveal and pretending I have a baby. Like, what? That's not what I done. Up. That's you have ruined people's lives forever and they're going to have trust issues for the rest of eternity. I'm trying to figure myself out and get help because this version of me isn't someone I want to be. I know I've ruined a lot of trust and I'm sorry it won't fix everything, but that's all I can say right now. Because you're going to prison and you're going to get sued. I think that's really the ultimatum for this all. I think in this, she really does play down all of the problems that she's done. She does highlight all of the things by saying, oh yeah, I did this wrong, I did that wrong, I'm just sorry. And she's also right in saying sorry doesn't cut it because, yeah, you've not only lost friends, you will have lost family members from this. Like, you will never end up getting back to where you were with them people. And this lack of accountability is what hurts me the most, really, in that there are so many people in the world that have gone through these similar traumas and problems with actual children, and that is really a mockery to them. And it's an entire mockery which you have then benefited from and used for sympathy for your own sick pleasure. And as always with this situation, it only gets worse from every angle that you can see. In my previous video, I covered where there was a previous situation where, in fact, Kira Cousins has done this before, where she has faked to have a child for sympathy and attention. But this one, unfortunately, didn't end up getting found out past the actual people that were in it realizing and going away from her. But this person has spoke to the Daily Mail and talked about that situation. A former Facebook friend agreed to talk. She claims that she was not the first time that Kira attempted to fake a baby. The last time in 2023, she did not use a doll but stolen images of a child that did not belong to her and used them to announce her happy arrival to certain friends. Just insane, isn't it? How are you just nicking someone that you know's baby and claiming it as your own and expecting everyone to just go with it? It was my baby. She stole pictures of my child off a Facebook page and passed them off as her own. This obviously shows that there is a pattern of behaviour that needs to be addressed, and it also does highlight that she definitely has some form of Munchausen or in that sort of area because it's a consistent theme. To this person's utter horror, every photograph purporting to be the Aurora Ray, which was Kira Cousins' other fake child, was actually of Laura's own child, each image showing the baby a little older. Even going to the point of progressing the age of the child. Are you seeing how mental this is? This is theft, and I hate that my child's innocent little face has now been dragged into this horrible drama, but my dad's friend is in the police and has said there's nothing I can do about it. Like, surely there has to be some form of, like, police or something like that, some investigation that could go forward to actually get this to court, surely. I guess in this previous instance, there was nothing to do with money being exchanged. It was purely from her own sick wanting for some stupid reason. But as if she's only just found out about how horrible this person can be and that her child has been pulled into this drama. And in all of this, we've seen so many people just trying to fake and get views for clout. It's just really weird that people are going to these lengths on the internet just so that they can get a bit of attention. And the prime example of this is something that I covered in my last video, which was around a statement that apparently Kira Cousins had made. Now, in this video, and I'm glad that I did say it, I said that this is alleged because it doesn't seem right. There was a different username, it just didn't look right. And so many people were covering it saying that it's true, and well, it turned out to not be. Because she said that she was going to go on this TikTok live and talk about the situation and come out with her own story, essentially. And well, the story was fake because it was just a random person trying to get attention.
Hello?
Hi, you alright? I'm just here to tell my story, man.
Oh my days. That was DJ Decor.
Like, what the fuck? Why is this a thing? So the statement did end up being fake, and it ended up being this random guy that was just posting stuff for attention on the site for some reason. I don't know why you do this. Would you get a kick out of it? You're exactly the same type of person as Kira Cousins at this point for begging for attention. When so many people have been harmed and hurt from this actual drama, to then come in and do this and to make a massive mockery out of it is really sickening. There was 50,000 people live on this TikTok, which is insane as well. That is so many people watching a TikTok live. I don't think I've ever seen that many people in one before. But like, you're no better than her, like, by doing this. All it does is make the trauma seem like a joke to the family, and it's at the expense of them too. Why don't you just not do that, please? I can only presume because it's a relatively small place that she comes from, there's going to be quite a few people, especially in Scotland as well, because they've got the similar accents and things like that, to then want to come out and try and grab attention from this. I've seen numerous accounts at this point of Kira Cousins AI generated speaking about how she's going to come out around the situation, which is baffling as well. Like, why are you going to the extent of doing this? You are doing the exact same thing as her, having the AI baby move. It's just a mess, and it keeps getting weirder because there's another one here with Kira Cousins on TikTok, which is pretending to be her as well, and I'm not sure if it is. Saying that she's not gone live at all and she's waiting for all these accounts to die down before she speaks on any information, and people are making stuff up about her left, right, and center. Like, I do think this is fake. I think this entire account is fake just so they can backlift off of this for attention. But like, why would you try and get views throughout this? Like, pretending to be someone that you're not, which is exactly the kind of thing of what she's doing. Has she just spawned a load more other people that are in this? On top of that, the photo of Kira is the same one which is on her Twitter header, which makes you think that someone has done it to try and make it more believable. But one thing I do know is that Kira Cousins definitely needs some serious help from all of this. You presume with the scamming aspect that she might end up in jail, but will she? I don't know. I don't know if this is going to develop that far. The amount of times that she backed herself into a corner to then just be found out is baffling to me, and it really highlights the problems of what she was doing. Everyone is just so exhausted and done with this situation, and I do think this is going to become a Netflix documentary, honestly. But I'm going to keep on covering this situation. I hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe if you're not. I would love to have you back. But for now, I've been Jake Baz, and I will see you all later. Take care.